Morning, Jules here. Welcome to my channel. So this is a collaboration for Sherls Hanson's group, and it's Let's Go Steampunk. So Sherls has there will be a Linktree link in the description under this video, and that will give you all the people that are involved in this collaboration. So I suggest you go and have a look, because the kits are amazing and what these people are doing with them is absolutely fantastic. There's also 30% off the kits, and the kits are big, and they come in the two sizes. They come in the A4 for the UK, and they come in the letter size for the US, which is a great thing, and it kind of saves you juggling about with your printer settings. So yeah, go in, and what she's called us is Masterful Tinkers, because obviously we're tinkering on with the steampunk. And if you leave a comment on every video in the Let's Go Steampunk collaboration and subscribe to the channels, you're in with a chance to win one of 30 fantastic prizes. I don't know all the prizes, but there's some fantastic prizes. And also Sherls will be picking out and announcing a lucky winner on her channel about 2 weeks after the collaboration. So that will be about the 21st of June. It started on the 23rd of May. Today's the 27th of May, so you've got till about the 21st of June. So if you click on the link in the description, and it's the Linktree link, and it's just got all the collaborators at the bottom. It's also got a link to Sherls freebies and her kits and everything. It's going to be an absolute fantastic collaboration. I've just got some, I'm doing Steampunk Dreams, and there's a Gothic Steampunk which is all purples and blacks and everything, and it's amazing. But the Steampunk Dream, the colours just grabbed me, and I was like, yeah. So these are a couple of the pages, and they're all like baby pinks and baby blues, and they're so pretty. And you know, they would be good for baby books. I know it's steampunk, but they really would be good for baby books. So I've just printed off 2 pages, but there's I think there's about 40 pages, and there's loads of ephemera. So I've printed off some of the journal cards, and you can see, you know, they're absolutely fantastic. My prompt is the Zeppelins, and I have got that on there, and the reason I picked these pages is because it's cogs and things like that, and they would be in the workings of the Zeppelins. I've also printed off some smaller, they're like ATC cards for my project, and I did a library, it's a library pocket and library card, and this is what I'm going to be using. So what I want to do actually is I want to do just an envelope using junk mail, and this is, I'll give you the measurements. It was a little bit longer than this, because obviously when I open my mail I just snip across the top. So it probably would be about 9 1/8 by 4.5. And what I've done is I've folded up the snipped end, I've folded that down so it makes that 7.5. Excuse me. And the reason I've done that is because you can either have these as a standalone, or you can put them in your pages, and usually your pages in your journals are about 8 1/4, depending. And this is what I want to cover with these papers, and I'm still swithering whether to put the window in, although the journal cards I don't know which journal cards I'm going to use. Sorry. Well, let me have a look at the... I'll probably use the this one. I might not use it as a pocket. I might add it onto a journal card. I don't know. But however, I've decided I am going to put a window in. And I do have templates somewhere, but I've misplaced them. Silly me. And I've got a template for that. And I'm not going to go around looking for it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to pull one of my... See that it's just a little bit bigger than a gift card. So I can't use that. I thought I had them stuck in with my gift cards, but I haven't. So what I usually do is I measure that, and that's 3/4 of an inch at the side, and it's 3/4 of an inch at the bottom, and it's 4 1/4. So what I want is I want 3/4 of an inch. Now I did have a pencil somewhere and I used it and I've popped it down. There it is. So 3/4 of an inch, which is there, and it was 4 1/4 inches there. And we never got the, and it's 2 inches. So I want 2 inches. And 3/4 of an inch down here. Now, so I want my window to be there, and I'm just going to do 3/4 of an inch up here. Did I do 3/4 of an inch there? Yep, 3/4 of an inch. Three-quarters of an inch. And if you use pencil you can rub it out, so don't worry about it. I'm just going to turn that round so I can see it better. And what I'm using is, this has got squares on it, so so I want 2 3/4, which is that, because the space is 2 inches and I've got 3/4 of an inch here, just to draw my line across and then join these two up. And how I make it, I just put my line across. Just make sure that's 2 inches. Yep. Then I can put that on there, put a line there, and and a line there because I'm actually going to put that down. So, alright, so that's more in line with that. Now I do like a little border, so although that's 1 1/4 inches, I'm just going to take a slither off this side and a slither off this side. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut, I'm just poking that in there. You can use a knife if you're great with a knife. I'm not that great with a knife. Okay. And then that should fit around there. And there we have it. So that's the most difficult part of this. Now what I want to do is I want to just burnish this down so I've got a perfect crease. And what I want to do is I want to open this down. Now that is the perfect crease, but what I want to do is I want to go down a little bit further. Probably about there, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 eighths. And on this side again down to the little mark that I've made, and then I'm going to take it off at the crease. Okay, then where we marked it down like 4 eighths, just going to fold that down, and I'm just going to miter it in just slightly because that's going to get tucked in. Now what I was thinking of doing was putting a backing on that. To do that, what I would need to do is open that up, which is fine because the journaling cards would still fit in. However, that might be a bit of a mess on for you guys, so it is the easiest way to cover your background. And then that gets tucked in like that, and then you've got your... So I'm still swithering with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a slither off here. It is just a slither, and it's opened it out. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put some glue on that flap and get that glued down, and then that gets that one out the way. I'm just using glue stick. Then I can open it up, turn it round and press it in like that. Now that will still go there, and I've still got a border, which is good. I think we'll just use a piece of this. Now obviously there's something down there that's stopping that. So what I've done is I've pushed that in. I'm marking it there, and I'm marking it there. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to cut slightly inside that line and slightly inside that line. So what I've done is I've taken it down, because all we're doing is we just want to cover that, so when you take whatever you've got in your envelope out, you're not seeing moved or moving, you know, you're not seeing what the it said underneath. If it was a nice pattern, you could have just coloured it, but it's not a nice pattern. Glued. And then opening that up and pushing that right in. Leave that out the way in case, because we might get glue seepage here. And there you are. And what I want to do is I just want to rub the pencil off this. So that's, if you use pencil, just make sure you rub your pencil marks. Now what I am going to do is I am going to ink round the edges. Now I've put that down, I'm just going to cut that strip off, and I think I'll use Vintage Photo. Just throw it on your desk, Julie, just throw it on your desk. Now I'm going to do the insides. Now when you're doing corners like that, what I do is I bend them over like that. Okay, so I'm just going to ink this top, because obviously we're going to stick this down, and again doesn't matter about the sides yet, and I'm not being too particular about the glue on the and what I'm more concerned about is my borders round the edge rather than round there, because we are going to put some bits and pieces and cogs and things over there, so that's fine. So that's that. And then what I'm going to do is concentrate on what I'm putting on here, and I think we'll go the flap and everything, so we're going to decorate that off. Now again, I'm more concentrating on the border on the sides rather than the border on the top, because then what we can do is we can just go round, preferably when you've not got any wet glue on it. And there you are. When you've got wet glue on it, it's harder to cut. And there we are. And then I can ink around there, and I'll wait till that dries before I fold that over. But what I do want is I want a piece to go in there. And it looks like I'm going to have to move to this, because I think that's too small. Yes, so we're going to have to move to this. I thought I was going to have to use 2 bits, but again I'm pushing that right up to there. Again, if you get pencil on it, don't worry about it, it'll rub off. Now that's had time to dry, I'm just folding that over like that. Now you'll see that this one has some circles, and I'm just hoping that they're the same size, and they are, so because I'm going to use these as fasteners. I think I'll have that one. And that, I think this is an inch, it may not be. Yeah, this green gold, which is like a brass. Now, because I broke one of my nails, that can go around it quite the thing, but we'll just put that on there. And then that just gives it that metallic look. And I'm smudging it in. Steampunk's all about the metals and the steams, and it was quite an industrial time in the Victorian time there. The Industrial Revolution, I remember doing about it at school. I know steampunk is kind of fantasy, a lot of it, but it was when a lot of the steam engines and things were all invented, and steampunk kind of makes it look that little bit more romantic and pretty. Okay, so we have a little bit of foam here. Now what I want to do is I want to decide which one I want on the top and which one I want on the bottom, so I think we'll do it that way. So that's that. So I need that roughly about there, so I'm just going to put my little bit of foam underneath it, get a pokey tool, guess the middle and push that in like that. Then we'll get a split pin, got some here, I think that's a brassy one. It's just a small one I want, it's not a great big huge thing. Is that brass? Yeah. And then we'll put that split pin in there and open like that. And what I am going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of washi tape or masking tape, it's up to you, and then we just put that gently over the top. You don't want to press it down too much, then put it down like that, and my metal ruler, and then just go underneath and press it down. If you press it down on the other way, the masking tape's going to wrinkle because it's going to try and get sort of like over the lumps and the bumps, where that makes it smoother. If you pushed it down it would have all wrinkled and everything. So then we can think about putting this in here. And I think that's probably about right. I'm going to fold that up there and take that off. And I am going to ink this one round because I don't know, I'm just inking this one, and I am going to do because my light was wonky. So I am using glue stick in the middle with glitter glue round the edges. And then we'll bring that one back in. And again, concentrate on your remember you've got a bump there, so if you smooth it in and if you've got anything going over like I have there, and then what you can do is you can just go up there like that and down there like that, and then ink round. Right, I can hear my dog scratching at the door. She'll be wanting to go out the toilet, so just give me 2 seconds. Okay, that's me, I'm back. So my husband's on a conference call. I picked up the mail, so I've got another envelope, another junk mail envelope. Okay, so we've inked around that. We've got that. I'm just gonna rub this down here before I burnish it down. So we've got our fastener. Now what I want to do is I want to cut out the journal cards, and I want to cut out this. So with the magic of editing, I will go away and do, I should have done that while I was away, shouldn't I? Cut these out and I'll come back to you in a bit. Okay, that's me back. So I've cut them out. I cut the library card out. I was going to use it for something else, but I folded it up and I put it in, and it's quite a cute little card. And I was thinking I might put that on here, but the journal cards, and we're looking to see there we've got that looks like Big Ben. Yeah, I think that's, but what I am going to do is I'm going to stick these together back to back. Well, then you won't have journaling space. No, I'm going to put the 4 in there. So that you have got journaling space on the back. Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this down. Now what I need to remember is that I don't have my I'm going to stick this down. I'm going to do it on this side. Just a thin bead of glue. My camera's needing charge, so it's on charge while it's videoing. So I don't have the microphone on, so I need to remember not to mumble for the last part of this video, because I tend to talk down and it misses the microphone on the camera, because I have a separate microphone. Right, so I'm putting that down there like that. think that I'm going to put these in here, and really you need to wait until your glue has dried before you do anything sticking it in. For camera's sake, I'm going to put it in earlier. So we've got one, I'm just putting two in, two, and I'm still swithering what to do with this. I'm going to stick it down, I'm going to ink round it. I'm going to round the corners off. And then put that in. And then we'll get some ink. And so you've got, although it's a library card, you've got journaling space on there and on the back. I'm just wondering if we should put one of these on the back and actually have that pencil. Just because it says journaling card doesn't mean to say you can't use it for other things. When we design kits, we design it so that you can make it, a quick journal, but you can think out of the box and do other things with them. I mean, you can turn your journaling cards into pockets, into whatever you want. And we'll put that on there. Just trim it off now I've got it. And then we have, this is just a piece of the paper that's been trimmed off. I want that there. So we're going to stick that there. So all I've done is I've made a hinge. So I'm going to put that side on there, and I want the crease right up to the edge because you don't want it to hinder when you're opening it. And then this is how you can make your envelopes interesting, all the little bits and pieces. So then put that down there right at the very edge, like that. So we've got our journaling card, our library card. We've got that. I'm going to put some string around the top. Some people, I like to tie it around the top one first. Some people don't tie it at all. They just, I prefer to tie it. And then what we do is we go around once, twice, and there we are. So we've got that. So we've got that. And I'm just wondering if we should have kind of a little fastener on here. And these are easy to do, especially when you've got these kind of circles. So I'm just, and these don't have to go on extra card, but we do want to ink round it. I know I put brass round the other one, but, and then what happens is that fits in there and it just keeps that down. So just about a third. There we are. Once it's dry, and then I think I was going to put some little fancy bits around the edge here. And just give me 2 seconds. And then I'm just going to ink around the edges of the cogs. And I mean, you can put flowers, you know, if you have got some steampunk little insects somewhere, but it's not part of this kit, so I'm using this kit as it is a collaboration, and that kind of goes with that when it's open. So then all you do is you do, oh, we've got a little bit, I've got a little dog here, and she's been out, she's had a treat, but she can't get into my husband's room because he's on a conference call, and she's keeps coming up at the back of me and scratching the back of my legs because she's wanting in the room with my husband because she can get on the comfy sofa and sit. I'll put that one there. And we'll put that one there. And what I'm doing is I'm just matching the cogs in the others, but I'm going to put that one on top because if you've ever seen inside a watch or anything and seen all the cogs, you get them on top because there's several layers of workings of a clock. And And there we are. So we've got our perfect little, you can bend that in under there like that. And there we are. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I've certainly enjoyed working with the kit. So just remember, it's Let's Go Steampunk, but it's hashtag Let's Go Steampunk, and it's a capital L, capital G, capital S. It's a collaboration. Underneath in the description you'll see a Linktree link, and if you click on that, it has all the collaborators that are working with not only this kit but the Gothic Steampunk kit, which is beautiful. There is links to those kits. There's links to Sherls freebies and everything. There's 30% off sale on these particular kits until the 21st of June. This collaboration goes from the 23rd of May till the 7th of June. And if you put a comment on each of the videos, subscribe to the channels, you will be put into a draw for one of 30 fantastic prizes. I think some of them are kits and things like that, so it is well worth it. And finally, that you've got up until 2 weeks after the 7th of June to check out the videos and add your comments and likes and things like that. And I hope you'll go there, and I hope you win something, and I hope you enjoy working with this kit. I know I have. And thank you, Sherls, for asking me to join the collaboration. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.